back messing around with this M110 engine. It's driving me crazy, man. This is ridiculous. But I had a little bit of success. Let me explain. First, I need to explain about that last video. The purpose of that last video is to prove a point. I get a lot of emails all the time. Hey, Kent, my engine doesn't run good. What's the problem? What's the problem? I don't know what the problem is. It's like, am I a physician and can diagnose illness over the email? Well, one guy, he posted a question. He believes, I have an M119 engine that runs rough. And it runs rough, you know, and then it speeds up and then it kind of dies. Can you tell me what's wrong with it? And you know what I did? I told him, hey man, it's probably the flux capacitor. I think I was hoping to make a point to this guy, but he comes back and says, hey Ken, I checked with a bunch of mechanics. Nobody knows what a flux capacitor is. I haven't been able to find it online. Can you tell me what they look like? Well, if you don't know what a flux capacitor is, you should Google it, because they can be a solution to a lot of problems, okay? What happened, though, in this video is I got all these comments. They were great comments. They were just like, hey, you got to change the fuel distributor, you got to change the engine, you got to change the transmission. Maybe one guy said put some air in the tires. And I'm telling you, man, some of those comments were great. But we did a few things, and we've got it running better today. So let me show you how well it's running since we fixed it. Maybe. You know, the last time you saw me standing by this M110 engine, it wasn't running very well. And when I posted that video, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek, because I wanted to make a point that you just can't ask for help on the internet without giving any background. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background here. You know, we had already changed the fuel. We had already changed the fuel pump and filter, and we had done some other things to this engine, but we didn't change the accumulator. And of course, I said, well, the accumulator tested okay, you know, a couple months ago. But when we tested the accumulator, look here, it was leaking like crazy. So we changed the accumulator, and we actually changed the coil just because the other coil looked real bad. But I think it's the accumulator that now is letting this engine run much better. Listen to that. Okay, I'm going to shut it off. Now, let's see how it starts. But we have another problem that I want you to help us diagnose. We've let this car now sit for about 20 minutes, and we're going to try to start it. And to be fair, I need to give you a little more background of what we've done. You know, I failed in that first video to tell you that we've changed the spark plugs, we did a compression test, we adjusted the valves, and just recently we replaced wires and distributor cap and rotor. So we've worked a lot on the ignition system and the fuel delivery system, and it's kind of running pretty well. I think it's running pretty well, but now let's try to start it when it's hot. Uh-oh. No. This thing was starting beautifully. No. No. I thought I had this thing fixed. What more parts do I need to throw at it? Let's try that again. Come on, baby. What in the world? Oh, no. Okay. Now, you've got the background, okay? All the background. You know when it's cold, it starts right up and runs real well. But when I let it sit about 20 minutes after I shut it down hot, this is what happens. Please tell me what's wrong with it. So you can see, we've got a little more work to do here. But I hope that you will take note of the moral of this video. And that's, if you have a question about your car and you're going to address that question on the internet, please, I'm going to ask again, please give more background before you ask the question. Otherwise, I'm going to come back and tell you to go find a flux capacitor.